It's Halloween once again, and no surprise, I'm going to be doing another countdown list on the scariest logos. But unlike my previous two logo videos, this is going to be a remastered version of my 2022 list. Because for one thing, my opinion on certain logos has changed nowadays, which is why I excluded some logos from my list that I thought was scary, but I've gotten used to over time. And number two, there are several other logos that I think deserve to be put on this new list. Now for the rules, I'm not going to be including any horror logos like Horror Factory or Ramsay Films, because I think they're meant to be scary in a way. I am also not going to be including childhood logos like ABC DVD from 2001. This will feature some reoccurring entries, but also some new logos that I haven't discussed before. So, without further ado, let's get onto the list of the scariest logos. My view on this logo has changed slightly. I've mentioned this in my bizarre logos list video, so I'll try and do a recap. The high-pitched strings sound too shrill and distorted, and because of the poor quality of these types of logos, not only the music sounds irritating, but also ascends and descends in pitch. The other Avco Broadcasting Corporation logos may not look that bad, but this one in particular really gets on my nerves for only one reason. What is that reason, you may ask? It's because of the loud laser-like sounds, that they sound really loud. They kind of aggravate me a bit, which begs the question on why they showed this variant at the end of some program that I don't even know the name of exactly. If I saw this logo ever on my TV screen at night alone, I would probably wet myself, but not too hard though. Trust me, this isn't the only loud logo variant that's going to be on the list. This logo is pretty bad, mainly because of the graphics, which I find kind of ugly. And to make matters worse, the sounds in this logo sound like a loud game over screen in your face. And imagine these synth sounds being irritating as hell. And if you thought that this logo looked somewhat like a home video logo, then you'd unfortunately been mistaken. Because KWSU is a PBS station. Out of all their logo variants, why would they make this one anyway? So therefore, I do not recommend this logo at all. I've talked about this logo before, and I'll try and keep it brief here. The animation for the logo isn't the best, the fiery effects are really bad, the background sounds are very distorted and somewhat irritating, and the poor quality of the logo again makes it worse. Some people like to call this logo the horse from hell, and it apparently makes sense. Colombiana De Television is the television company for Colombia. And oh my god, does this music associated with sound awful? The synth-like sounds are so distorted that it makes other TV logos sound good in comparison. In this version though, They make it sound really distorted, probably because of its bad quality. Not to mention that a lot of the logos for Colombiana De Television have the same music. Come on, Colombiana De Television. Why can't you make better music for this? Make it sound less horrible. Do you know why I can't stand this logo at all? There's an obvious reason for it. This one flashes multiple times per second. It's enough to give you a seizure. By the way, the reason why Weird Al Yankovic made this logo flashy is because I heard he said he wanted to make the most anxiety-inducing logo ever. Really, dude? You know that most people hate having anxiety. No offense to Weird Al Yankovic though. I think he's a really great singer. But still, I don't like this logo at all. I'm glad this logo isn't used anymore nowadays. Want to see an extremely poor quality and terrible MGM ripoff? Then Shera Films awaits. I don't know about you guys, but this logo variant of Shera Films is one of the most cringeworthy logos I've ever seen. It's not just the poor quality, like I explained many times before. This logo shows a very angry looking lion getting closer and closer until it roars or screams at your face. Then the Shera Films text just comes in, followed by some very creepy and cringeworthy music tune I don't even care for. The stock image of the lion here looks creepy, especially with its eyes black and then they glow red after it roars. Even though I like lions in real life because they are my favorite of all the big cats, still, I'd rather watch the Jurassic Park T-Rex roar, or better yet, the MGM logo, as they are far better than this atrocious logo. I bet kids would be running away from this if they ever saw this on their TV screen. Also, what does the word Shera in Shera Films even mean? Holy shoot, I don't know what to say about this logo. I bet this logo would also make kids run out of their room, and like Shera Films, this one is also cringeworthy. Another MGM ripoff, but instead of a lion, you have an elephant as the star animal. Can I just say the music in this logo is so bad and distorted, and the elephant in this logo looks kind of stressed. Okay, for those of you who don't know, elephants bop their heads whenever they're mentally stressed. It does make sense because this elephant was forced to be in a logo that it didn't want to be in. I'd rather give this elephant a hug rather than watch that ugly logo because at least she looks cuter. Actually, I have a better way to fix this logo to make it funnier and less scarier. Yep, you predicted that one. It's still on my list to this day. In that same spot. Not only the poor quality of the logo doesn't help, the picture of the temple and its rippling effect make it ominous, but oh my gosh, do I hate the soundtrack for this logo. The soundtrack for this logo is extremely distorted and loud to the point that it makes me want to hit myself with a tennis racket. And not only that this is not the last logo I'm going to be talking about in this video, but it's also not the only scary logo that hasn't changed its spot since the first version of this list. And I'm sure you guys are going to know what number one is going to be. Like I expected, Manish Films. Some of you guys probably knew that Manish Films was going to be number 1, by the way. I've talked about this logo before, and I'll try to do a recap. The dark atmosphere and the lighting effects are eerie. The statue looks creepy. And the worst part is the ear-piercing music. It gives you a jump scare, like 4 seconds of silence, and then the Manish Films text blows in your face. If I ever saw this in a cinema in India, I would probably run out of the room. Or if I just stay there, I would be traumatized, for sure. Not only this, but what I found extremely unsettling about this logo, which I forgot to mention before, is the way the statue just stares into your soul. It's like she wants to haunt your dreams tonight. This is not only the logo I find to be one of the most cringeworthy, but it's also the most scariest and most terrifying logo I've ever seen. Alright guys, this was my newly improved list of the scariest logos. Do you agree with my selected logos, or do you have a different list compared to mine? I'm pretty much happy to read your comments and see what you think is the scariest logo. Also, if there's anything I could have done better on, like figuring out the country where some of these logos come from, then let me know too. I'm curious to know. And as always, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. This is ZESG54 Studios signing off and saying Happy Halloween to all of you guys. This has been a production of